Coming up on NewsWatch Ole Miss, one student is dead, another injured, and two have been arrested after a tragic incident on the square this weekend.
And Mississippi River levels are headed towards a record low that could affect your wallet. That and more ahead.
And that was not 10:25.
I would scroll down to where it says good evening.
What are we doing?
Are we redoing or what are we doing?
Coming up on NewsWatch Ole Miss, new details on the St. Louis school shooting.
And the mayor of Jackson responds to criticism of his handling of the water crisis.
And there are some new trainees to help with natural disasters. NewsWatch Ole Miss starts now.
Good evening and welcome to NewsWatch Ole Miss. I'm Mackenzie Cox.
And I'm Hannah Baker. A Batesville woman has been charged with felony simple assault on a Head Start teacher. Cindy Presley, 34, was nearly arrested after 2 months, the incident in late August. Head Start teacher Mary Smith says Presley suddenly grabbed her by the arm and began to push and assault her. Batesville police also say an additional witness identified Presley as Smith's attacker. There have been no further details released about the case.
A grenade was found in a Memphis neighborhood this morning. Part of the Highland Heights area was evacuated around 8:30 a.m. after city police responded to a call about a suspicious package and ended up finding a possible grenade in the yard of a house in the 700 block of Atlantic Street. Memphis Police Department says the package has since been removed and that the area is now accessible again.
Mayor Lumumba of Jackson made a statement addressing criticisms for how he has handled the city's water crisis and the mixed response from Governor Reeves, who has repeatedly remarked about the amount of money he turned down on behalf of the city of Jackson and made a public comment claiming it was a great day not to be in the capital city while speaking in Hattiesburg. Lumumba is still calling for cooperation to repair city infrastructure despite frustration with state leadership.
Or talking about things that we just let it go, right? People joked about my expression in the press conference after he said it when he talked about the $200 million that he had given to Jackson, only for him to issue a list that you yourselves know was laughable.
A new high-profile Supreme Court case is pushing the limits on interstate commerce, particularly in the agricultural industry. The case, National Pork Producers Council v. Ross, comes from California and would allow the state to impose production regulations on out-of-state farms that wish to sell products in Mississippi.
Advocates for the law say it strengthens food safety and animal rights, while opponents say that it will drive up existing prices. The stakes are high on both sides of this case, and the issue at hand extends far beyond just animal rights.
The states and regions of the country are politically divided over congressional representation and partisan choices in the presidential campaign. This includes controversial political issues such as gun control, abortion, and many others.
Tragedy struck Oxford when a student was killed and another injured in a hit-and-run accident last week. The injured student, Blanche Williamson, has now woken up in the hospital, but the Oxford community is still reeling from this incident. Reporter Dallican Crawford talked to other students to see how this affected them.
Tragedy struck the Oxford and Ole Miss community when one Ole Miss student was killed and another injured in a hit-and-run incident.
Scary and sad to hear about, and it made me feel like I need to be a lot more aware of my surroundings and what's going on.
Walker Fielder was a junior business major, and his death shook the community. Many students on campus today did not want to comment this event on camera, afraid that they would say the wrong thing. However, many agree that it was a sad day in Oxford.
It was just sad to know that something could happen like this in our area, because I've always thought of it as a small community, safe community.
With many students upset over the event, Chancellor Glenn Boyce released a statement, and I quote, "It is a painful and distressing development for our campus community, and it is understandable that emotions are high with many unanswered questions about what happened. I urge anyone in need of support to reach out to those around them or to seek assistance." End quote. Seth Rokika, who is accused of killing Fielder, has been charged with manslaughter and DUI with a bond of $1 million. While Tristan Holland has been charged with accessory after the fact. I am DeLakin Crawford, NewsWatch Ole Miss.
There have been many problems stemming from the recently low water levels for the Mississippi River, but some unique discoveries as well. This past weekend, Memphis's Riley Bryant discovered a variety of relics from the Civil War era, including several bullets and a cartridge bag buckle. Just yesterday, he discovered more bullets, a glass bottle, a meat hook, and an old oar log. He wants to use these objects to educate people about the area's history. The Oxford High School boys swim will be celebrating for the weeks to come after the victory this Friday. The boys team matched their highest finish in program history on Friday when they earned runner-up honors at the 2022 Mississippi Swimming State Championships. The Chargers scored 76 points, securing the second-place finish, while Madison Central scored 116 points, winning the contest. Not only did the Oxford boys secure a victory, Lafayette County High School's very own Abigail Bolger became the highest-scoring swimmer in school history, finishing 5th in the girls' 500-yard freestyle. The 8th grader set a school record with a personal best time of 5 minutes, 59 seconds, and 0.7 milliseconds. We congratulate all these swimmers on their achievements.
Ready to get your heart pumping? Campus Recreation invites you to bust a move with them at their Cardio Dance 30 class, Halloween edition. The class is at the Turner Center tomorrow at 5:30 in Studio 305. Come dressed in your best Halloween costume for 30 minutes of Zumba and hip-hop fitness. The 2 people with the best costume will win Ole Miss Fitness Fit Kits. Sign up through the Ole Miss CR app to reserve your spot. Coming up, more details on the school shooting in St. Louis.
And there are interesting new rescuers in training to help with natural disasters. More details coming up, but first, here's a look at your current conditions.
Rebels, it has been a windy and a rainy day here in Oxford so far. Make sure to tune in later for more weather conditions.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Great having you.
Incredible women. I wish they had those kind of cool careers for women when we were growing up.
So in this flashback, we're all the same age?
Yeah.
What does everyone want to be when they grow up?
If I say 2 jobs, do I get extra credit?
No.
I want to make immersive video games. I want to revolutionize 3D printing. I want to analyze data from the cloud.
I want to be a meteor.
You mean meteorologist?
No.
That's great, Al. Follow your dreams.
For the record, I was a baby in the 70s.
They're coming. Places, everybody.
Is my light bright enough? You're such a glow-off.
Well, you know.
And lights.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Legacy isn't just about where you're from, it's about where you're going. So where are you going?
I'm going to be the first in my family to graduate.
I'm going to make a difference.
Just like my granddad.
I'm going to make the bestseller list.
And I'm going to help him get there.
I'm going to win a championship.
Again! I'm going to lock the vault! Hotty toddy!
I'm going to take the next step. I'm going to bring them to their feet.
I'm going to Ole Miss.
Ole Miss. Build your legacy.
Welcome back to NewsWatch Ole Miss. A St. Louis community is reeling from a deadly shooting at a high school yesterday that left 2 victims and the suspected gunman dead. Officials say 7 teenagers were injured but are in stable condition. As details emerge, a chilling realization that this actually could have been worse. Amy Kelly has the more.
One of those days that we pray never happens across this country.
Police say a teenage girl and a 61-year-old woman were killed. Alumni say the older victim was a teacher at Central Visual Performing Arts High School.
The individual had almost a dozen 30-round high-capacity magazines on them, so that's a whole lot of victims there.
Interim Police Commissioner Michael Sachs says a quick response saved lives. 7 security officers were on duty, according to the district. A police precinct is nearby, and the department says more officers were in the area for a funeral.
They drove there, they put the car in park, they drew a weapon, they went into the building. There was no sidewalk conference, there was no discussion, there was no, hey, where are you going to, they just went right in.
Authorities say it took 4 minutes for officers to arrive and another 10 to stop the suspect. They identify him as a 19-year-old recent graduate from the school. Sachs says he might have struggled with mental illness.
Please have a conversation with your kid if they're old enough to have a device and make sure that any hoax or any joke that they're sending about school shooting right now will be taken incredibly seriously.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
A rapist who targeted women and children in Memphis will soon walk free, even after police have connected him to more violent attacks. Leila, who was a victim of rape in June of 1993, spoke out on her story. For her safety, we will not reveal her last name. A year later, in 1994, WREG investigators dug through archives, leading them to the suspect. 23-year-old man Marvin Huggis was prosecuted for 4 aggravated rapes and sexual battery. He's received 45 disciplinary write-ups, 5 of them relating to sexual misconduct. On November 2nd, his sentence expires and he will be released. Leila says she will continue to fight for justice for herself and other survivors out there.
The Center for Disease Control's recent data shows there's declining interest in COVID vaccine boosters. Seniors in the U.S. are more likely to be vaccinated than any other age group. The CDC reports only about 72% of eligible patients have kept up to date by getting their first booster, and less than half have gotten their second. For the updated bivalent booster shot, which targets the 2 Omicron subvariants, less than 10% of ages 5 and up have gotten the booster.
Although Category 4 Hurricane Ian is gone, the damages caused by the intense winds and flooding to parts of the state will be felt for months to come. Florida's Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services says the preliminary damage assessment for agriculture losses could be up to $1.8 billion due to damaged citrus trees, forestry, and infrastructure. The total losses for citrus producers could reach $675 million as well.
And staying in Florida, 8 women from Cuba were rescued from human trafficking. Reporter Mary O'Connell has the details.
HCSO says they received a tip about a possible human trafficking case last week. The investigation found the women were forced to work at various clubs in both Hillsborough and Pinellas counties in order to pay off their debt for being brought into the United States from Cuba, explaining they were also forced to perform commercial sex acts through prostitution.
Last Thursday night, we followed 7 of the victims who were being escorted by one of their traffickers to the International Plaza, which is where undercover detectives made contact and facilitated their rescue. Simultaneously, we obtained a court-authorized search warrant for 2 properties where these victims were being held, and where we also recovered the 8th victim.
According to Sheriff Chad Chronister, these victims were forced to stay 5 women to 1 room in bunk beds. The remaining 3 victims also had to share a room. 2 suspects are behind bars and face multiple charges.
And now it's no longer just humans and dogs there to help in a crisis. Rats, yes, rats, with tiny high-tech backpacks carrying video cameras are now training to help search for survivors of natural disasters in Tanzania. The project was conceived by Belgian nonprofit organization Apopo. The organization is actively working to prepare these rats to help first responders find survivors much faster in areas where there is rubble and disaster zones. However, not just any rat can join the rescue missions. For over a decade, Apopo has used African giant pouched rats due to their longer lifespan in captivity. Some of these rats have already been trained for other emergency situations like sniffing out landmines and even detecting tuberculosis. And now, back to Mallory for a quick look at the weather.
Looks like the rest of our week will be taking a turn for the better, with the exception of Saturday and Sunday. Stay tuned for our 5-day weekly forecast after this break.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. It's like, hello, that's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
It's a beautiful day out here. Sunny today with light breezes, giving way to clouds in the afternoon. We could see some light precipitation to moderate precipitation later on, followed by powerful storm-like conditions. 90 miles per hour winds are expected. Authorities are asking everyone, stay indoors. Come on, that's it. Let's go.
Don't wait. Communicate. Make your emergency plan today.
Severe weather can strike anytime, anywhere, but there's a simple way to stay safe. Hey, Jim Cantori here. I stay safe in dangerous weather by planning ahead. You can stay safe too with a few easy steps. Build an inexpensive kit with supplies for your family's needs. Write down important information like phone numbers and medications. Always talk with your family and remember any pets in your planning. Be ready, be safe. Start your plan today at ready.gov/plan.
Hey Rebels, I am Mallory Edgen with your weather for today. It is a cooler day here in Oxford, and it is a mixture of sun and clouds, with winds coming in from the west-southwest at 18 miles per hour. This could potentially pick up to 40 miles per hour throughout the day. Looking into our region, we are seeing pretty much the same thing, with temperatures falling between the low 60s and high 60s, and Tupelo topping us out at a temperature of 68. Looking into tonight, our temperatures are going to drop quite a bit. We can expect a temperature of 42. It is going to be quite a cloudy night, which will make way for mainly clear skies overnight. Looking into tomorrow, we can expect a temperature of 66. It is going to be a pretty nice day, so make sure you go out and enjoy that. Looking into our region again, we are seeing pretty consistent temperatures across our board, with Tupelo topping us out at a temperature of 67. Now let's take a look at our 5-day weekly forecast. It does look like we are going to have a pretty decent week here in Oxford, with the exception of Saturday and Sunday. Our temperatures seem to be falling between the high 60s and low 70s. So make sure you go out and enjoy the beginning of the week, as we will be needing our umbrellas towards the end of this week. Now let's take a look at our weekly outlook. Our temperatures are going to be pretty steady from Wednesday on, and we can expect showers at the end of this week. I hope you all have a great week. That is all I have for weather today, and here is Skylar with sports.
And coming up, some members of the Rebels golf team are collecting accolades, and we'll hear from the football coach Lane Kiffin. I'll have that more up next in sports.
Creating a legacy takes time, takes dedication, spirit, and a greater vision. That vision starts here at the University of Mississippi. What will you be remembered by? Your character, your contributions, your friendship. Your legacy will define who we are now and who we are becoming for our state, our students, and our future. Ole Miss, build your legacy.
Bring it.
I'm out, guys. I'm late to dinner. My mom's gonna kill me. Catch you guys later.
Mom wants us home.
Okay. Bye, guys.
You guys need a ride?
Sure. Yeah. All right. How about some one-on-one?
I gotta go eat, man. Sorry, I'll see you later.
Ole Miss 18th NCAA tournament appearance.
This is fun, folks, as Baker's peeling it. Little heat check. Snow Collins for three. Bring it up.
Said, I love Madison Scott.
Ole Miss Rebels are having a lot of fun, and you can see why.
Welcome back. A pair of Ole Miss women's golfers were named to the final fall watch list for the Annika Award. As announced by Golf Week and the Golf Channel on Monday, Andrea Lignell and Chiara Tamberlini found themselves among 20 of the nation's top collegiate women golfers named to Annika Award, presented by Stiefel. The award is given annually to the most outstanding women college golfer, as voted by players, coaches, and media. Tamberlini and the rest of the Rebel squad will wrap up their season October 28th through 30th at the Battle of the Beach in San Lucas, Mexico. And Coach Lane Kiffin talked to the media about the challenge of coming into a week of practice after loss.
All right, so, this is really, I guess, in a year, our first time of, having a Monday after a loss, coming back to meet with the players and practice and stuff. So that's a new challenge. For our guys, and the biggest key is that, one loss, you don't allow it to move into more losses.
The team will try and get things back on track this Saturday on the road against Texas A&M. And the soccer coach Matt Mott had some words to the media regarding his team's place in the SEC and what the team needs to do to earn a place in the SEC tournament.
Right now we're 9th in the league. They take 10 teams to the beach. So we're trying to get to the conference tournament, which is at Pensacola this year. We have one game left at LSU, and still looking for points. So win at LSU, we'll lock ourselves into the conference tournament.
The team will wrap up the regular season in Baton Rouge this Thursday when they face LSU. And it was another exciting edition of Monday Night Football last night. The Chicago Bears and New England Patriots faced off with the Chicago Bears coming out on top 33-14 to end the score after the New England Patriots replaced starting quarterback Mac Jones and Bailey Zappi in the first half. It looked like they were going to make things difficult for the Chicago Bears with a pair of quick second quarter touchdowns. However, quarterback Justin Fields led the Bears to 23 unanswered points as Chicago ran with it. Both the Bears and the Patriots will head into Week 8 sporting identical 3-4 records. The Bears will play the Dallas Cowboys and the Patriots will play the New York Jets next Sunday. And that's all I've got for sports. Be sure to follow us at Rebel_Watch for the latest sports updates.
Thanks, Skylar. Coming up, we hope you're not on a health kick right now.
Because we just might ruin it for you. Find out if today should be your cheat day after the break.
Times during class and I tell her to talk to him. And it's like, oh, ew.
You ready to play band with us? I'm gonna play my clarinet.
And Elmo's gonna play his drum. Drum loud.
Oh, well, you know what to do, Julia.
Julia knows.
Mm-hmm. With Julia's autism, loud sounds can be too much.
But she still loves to make music. Play band.
Early screening for autism can make a lifetime of difference. Find out more at screenforautism.org.
Before we celebrate the freedom most Americans have,
We must fight for the freedom all Americans deserve. Because all lives can't matter until Black lives matter.
We're all just trying to keep things running for those who rely on us. Ready! That's why we don't have time to be sick with the flu. And especially this year, no one has time to get sick. Get a flu shot for yourself and those around you too.
We are Ole Miss Rebels. As Mississippi's flagship university, we dig deeper, see farther, work harder. We pioneered human organ transplants. We helped prove Einstein's theory of gravitational waves. We are distinguished as a Carnegie R1 top 2.5% research institution. We are Ole Miss, transforming lives and the world.
Fast food fanatics, the McRib is making a comeback again, but only for a farewell tour.
And yes, McDonald's is actually calling it the McRib Farewell Tour. It'll be back on the menu October 31st for a Halloween that's more saucy than spooky.
The 520-calorie sandwich with seasoned boneless pork dipped in tangy barbecue sauce and topped with chopped onions and pickles is famous for being a favorite limited-time treat for the fast food giant.
You have until November 20th to make your McRib goodbyes. And speaking of fast food, for those on diets, today may be a good cheat day.
Yes, Hannah, because it's National Greasy Foods Day. Take your pick: French fries, onion rings, chicken wings, burgers, fried chicken, pizza, and donuts. Yes, they're sweet, but you may forget they're fried.
It's also state fair season, so you can find plenty of greasy options at your local one. Just don't go overboard. Moderation is important.
And remember to go back to your healthier choices on Wednesday. You can post your cheat meals with the hashtag GreasyFoodsDay, and you can also DM them to NewsWatch to be featured on our social media stories.
Well, today's weather has been perfect for comfort food. What's the weather going to be like tonight, Mallory?
So the weather tonight is actually pretty good, but towards the end of the week might be a better time to stay in because there will be some showers coming in, so make sure to get out your umbrellas. And make sure to check back here for any weather updates that you will be looking for.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Mallory. I can't wait to eat some greasy food tonight.
Me as well. Well, that's all for tonight. For NewsWatch Ole Miss, I'm Mackenzie Cox.
And I'm Hannah Baker. Be sure to follow us on social media, and we'll see you again tomorrow at 5.
Thank you, and good night.
Woo, yay.
That was so bad.
No, that was good. That was good. It was more natural.